For the first time, the PRS comes to the annual Black Hills Stock Show for the inaugural 2014 President's Cup. It's a primetime lineup of rough stock talent from here in the Black Hills as the 2014 8 Seconds of Insanity Tour continues from Rapid City, and it starts right now.
Welcome to the PRS Rapid City.
Howdy everybody, and welcome to Rapid City. I'm Justin McKee along with the big potato himself, Spud Whitman, and the guy who's going to fly around and give you the analysis like the Hawkeye he is, Hawkeye Henson. We're in Rapid City where, Spud, this is the hotbed for rodeo, especially rough stock. It's almost like being in North Carolina for a college basketball game.
Well, that's really a great analogy because that's what it is. When you come to Rapid City and you come to South Dakota, they know the bucking horses, they know the riders, they know everything about it. They're big PRS fans and they're excited for things to happen here tonight.
In Hawkeye, there was a leader change in your event, saddle bronc riding last week.
You bet. After Lexington, J.J. Elsher took over the lead, and you know he rides good. Everybody knows what he can do.
John Jacobs is the new #1 man in bull riding. McKenna Wimberly isn't #1 because him and his wife had a baby last week.
Congratulations. Nothing like the birth of a child, but McKinnon coming back. Trust me, he's hungry. John Jacobs, you ride good, but I look for McKenna Wimberly to come hunting you down.
One of the big stories is Justin McDaniels. Will J. Mack win his 3rd event in a row? He's got 2 in the books and could make PRS history with one more big win here in Rapid City. To find out more about the bareback riding, let's go to a bareback riding world champion and the 4th member of our broadcast team, Kelly Timberman, to load the chutes.
Cimarron Gerke's coming in today sitting #2. He's got a horse called Pulp Fiction, a Sutton Pro Rodeo. Going to give Cimarron all the opportunity to make that winning ride. But coming into first today is Justin McDaniels, our 2013 world champion. He's got beer pong player Birch Pro Rodeo. This is an outstanding horse, might have a little bit better draw. Both horses are good to ride, but the way Justin's been riding, he's hard to beat.
All right, let's get you to the action right now and show you the season leaders. Justin McDaniel starting off 2014 in that #1 spot. Cimarron Gerke, he's in the #2 spot. Let's get to it. Tyler Scales of Fort Collins, Colorado, and he is on a great little horse from New Frontier Rodeo Company called Full House, and a little dicey in the bucket chute sometime, but when they get out, snappy.
Yeah, real snappy. You know, just a nice horse, pretty honest, straight across the pin. Circle around here to the left. Tyler's putting on a good bareback right here.
You betcha. You betcha. He just looks like the book reads. Turned out there, he spurred him out. It all looked good. Let's take a look at that Rocky replay, man.
Yeah, I tell you, this guy's got it going on. His timing is great, and his feet are up front, setting his feet before the horse's front feet hit the ground. Rolling that rowel back to the handle. Every jump. I think the judges are going to like this. They do 83.5 for the young man, Tyler Scales, who had his biggest career ride in Gillette a couple of weeks ago for an 85. Let's go to Cimarron Gerke. Here's a guy that dusted off his rigging. He's back. He is #2 in points already this season. Last week at Lexington, he was 85 in the Wrangler Final 4 round on Jim Dandy, and he's on that Pulp Fiction.
Boy, having a little more trouble right here than what we just seen on the last rider. You look at Cimarron, didn't get a hold of him right leaving here.
Kelly, what'd you think?
As soon as he had his hand running that rig and the horse wasn't standing real great, he just kind of hurried and nodded his head, slid up on the rig and got out as fast as he could, which is a good thing at point because it helps the horse out, but a bad thing if you're not right in position. When he left there, he was a little bit into his riding arm, and you could see how it kind of deadened his right leg. Didn't allow him to get a good hold or get that solid spur stroke.
73 points for Cimarron Gerke, the #2 man, a little disappointed. Let's go to Eric Wolford. Eric now living out of Bellevue, South Dakota, as #4 in the bareback riding points for this new season. He's on Buckster from Wiggins Rodeo Company.
You know, I don't know much about this horse. Eric, he's still going to spur one, guarantee it. Look at this.
All right.
Nice, setting up good around the corner there. Everything's going good. You know, the one thing I've noticed, that the guys have helped Eric. They've got his rigging set up. It's fitting him better. You notice he's riding with more confidence.
Well, on the replay here, we can see, look at this. I mean, the horse is bucking. Look at the ride. He's really aggressive. Horse changes directions, changes speeds, and changes the jumps all through it. It doesn't mess him up one bit, so that rigging is right.
He's 83, and he's in second place by half a point. Let's go to Jesse Davis. He finished in the top 12 in the PRS last year. He's 13th right now from Power, Montana on Rockin' Angel from Wiggins Rodeo.
You know, another one of them horses that don't know much about, but when you look at it, Kelly Timmerman and them, they study it, and they study it right. This is a nice horse, comes out of North Dakota. Look at this horse bucket across here.
I am impressed. A good horse, good ride. It all started from the very beginning with a good spur out, and it just all happened. Look at this. Look at the control. Getting the feet in him before his front feet hits the ground. Both feet are loose. Everything's working. It looks wonderful.
Hey, that's going to be a leaderboard change.
Yeah,
I guarantee
really
you.
controlled
Jesse
ride.
Davis, great ride right there.
Jesse Davis letting the good times roll. Big one, 87.5. He'll take the lead in the go-around. Now let's go to Justin Mack, J-Mac. Here's the man who's number 1 out of Porham, Oklahoma.
Guys, this guy, everything he does is winning. Winning. He's got to be in the zone like no other, and look at how consistent. Look at that. Drags it all the way to the rigging. What a bareback ride. Just doing it like he's been doing all year.
Kelly, how'd you like that?
But he's so in control. And if you notice, he's always hitting the horse either in the base of the neck or up by the mane. That's called exposure. The higher they can spur in the mane, the higher the point. It's not easy to do. That's a really great horse, but the way Justin rode him just makes him that much better.
What I like is the control of the rigging. He isn't bouncing around. He is so tight, and he'll take an 85. So now let's go to Stephen Peebles, the 2012 Pro Rough Stock Bareback Riding Champion. He is not ranked this year, and he's got Cowboy Casino from Wiggins and Sutton.
Well, he's needing that 83.5 to make the Final Four, so that's what he's got to pull off. But the horse right here just ain't looking right. Looks like things are a little, you know, he's playing catch-up this whole ride. But look how you know, when you watch through this ride, he rides it tight, just like you said with Justin McDaniels.
I tell you one
Just
thing,
not
I
the
like
horse.
this guy's riding spell a lot, but you're right about this horse. Horse not kicking up, not helping him, and look how good playing catch-up he does. I mean, that's hard to do when you got a
Yeah,
horse
but
that won't help you.
the fact is he was behind the whole ride. The judges aren't going to give him that mid-80 score that he needs. Score's coming in. It's an 80 for Stephen Peebles, and he's glad to get by that one. Let's take a look at the Wrangler Final Four qualifiers in the bareback riding. Jesse Davis, 87.5 on top of Tyler Scales, Eric Wolford, and Justin McDaniel on there as well. Right now, let's go down behind the chutes and hear from Jesse Davis.
I didn't know that horse when I got here, but I was kind of nervous in the chutes. But that horse act, you know, it's a younger horse, but that horse acted like he was been around. You know, that's the kind of horse you'd like to get on every day.
Coming up, the 2013 PRS World Champion Bull Rider, McKenna Wimberly. He's back in the house, and he's hoping to regain the #1 spot in the world that he lost last week to John Jacob. He's next. Welcome back to the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center in Rapid City, South Dakota for the 2014 President's Cup, held in conjunction with the Black Hills Stock Show. Let's go to the bull riding right now and take a look at the season leaders. John Jacobs with that slight lead over Dave Samsel and McKenna Wimberly. Toby Stover is in the top 4. First rider of the night is Ross Burney from Mississippi. He's on the bull called Biscuit from Summit Rodeo Company.
Boy, it's supposed to be a fun little bull just out here tooing around to the right. Should be a good one to kick it off with. Bull kind of fakes to the right. Look at this. Going to go back to the left. Shows how much I know. Kind of getting him loosened up. He's having a little trouble getting there, but hey, gets the whistle.
Most of you can see the bull going left. He's giving that big fake to the right. It's actually going to come around to the left.
Well, yeah, you can feel that. I mean, you pick that up as he's coming around there. The thing about Ross is you notice how it didn't look like he was lifting on that rope. He wasn't taking good holds with his feet. If that bull had a little more gas, per se, a little more, might have had a tough time getting there.
It's an 80. I want to introduce you to John Young. He won the national championship in pro rodeo through the circuit system. He's on Rockstar from Flying V Bucking Bulls.
This is a good bull right here to
Look
have.
at
This
the move.
kid is going to be a star. I don't think I've ever seen him buck off of a bull. John Young from Iowa. He goes to a community college up there.
Boy, ride's good.
This
Kinda-
wasn't easy, and look at the moves he made to roll around his hips and get back in there.
He's the real deal, I'm telling you.
I'd like to see him drop that free arm, get a little more bend in that free arm. That'd be one thing I'd see. But other than that, how can you pick anything apart?
87 points for John Young, Orient, Iowa. You'll hear from him in the future. Now to Jason McLean. We'll go to the other end of the spectrum. Here's a guy that's been riding bulls a long time out of Colorado, Smoking Suspect from Summit Rodeo Company.
Not a youngster, is he? Jason's been around a while. Feeling good, says he's going to it. Oh, boy, he is. Look at this.
Man.
Says he's been getting on some practice bulls, wants to come back and ride. And boy, nice bull ride.
And a sellout crowd here in Rapid City is getting loud for this Colorado cowboy. That was a ride, Hawkeye.
You betcha. I like the move. He got around this corner a lot better than I thought he would. Look at the upper body movement, moving the outside foot. Spud, I can't pick anything apart on this one
There's
either.
the reason that guy went to the show several times. I can't remember when it was. It was a while back, but he can still ride bulls.
Yeah.
Good ride.
89 points.
All
I don't
right.
know if I'd have went that high, but that was a good one. Woo!
As we go now to Super Dave Samsel, he was first in Lexington last week. He is number 2 in points, and he's got Crazy Town for Flying V.
Well, if we were just 89 on that one, we're going to be 95 right here. Come on, Dave.
Ooh.
Oh, boy,
Oh,
took a
don't
stomping
do that
right
to
there.
the old guy.
Oh,
Looked like left foot hit him right in the cheek of the butt. He
God,
had
no,
trouble.
I think it might have got him right there
Oh,
in the
Crazy
ribs.
Town giving him a little shot of stomp.
Oh, right there. He took the jerk and then.
No,
whoa.
it comes right.
Boom.
Boy, got him good.
Yeah. Ooh.
Good night. I don't care if you got a vest on or not. No score.
Hope he's okay.
Let's go now to McKenna Wimberly, last year's champion on the Pro Rough Stock Series. He was third at Gillette. He's third in the standings. He's got Hillbilly Scream.
Oh, he'll have fun with this one. This would be a nice little draw here. He's seen this bull before. Right there on the radar. We're going left.
Did
Just
he come
fun to
out
have.
spurring?
He come out kicking loose. You know, just typical McKenna Wimberly ride right here. Just fun for him.
Boy, that bull made a mistake when he went into his hand.
Yep. Might have flipped on the wrong blinker.
All right, again, he missed last week because of the new baby, and he is riding for diapers here, riding for diapers.
You're going to see him in the saddle bronc riding around us for very long because he went to my school the other day in Ranger, Texas.
Just right, Cowboy. 84.5. That'll put him in the number 3 spot. Remember, the top 4 move on to the Wrangler Final 4 round as we go to John Jacobs of Timberlake, South Dakota, the leader in points this year. Last week was second in Lexington.
Hey, I guarantee you, John Jacobs, he's going to bring the heat. He's ready to ride. Boy, look at this. See how he monkeys around there?
Oh, look at that recovery.
He's got a little Terry Don West
That's
about
just
him.
what
man.
I was going to say.
I mean, he
Just what I was
Wow.
going to say.
Boy, that was bull right there,
I mean, to
guys.
tell you, I can't believe
Watch
he
this
made this
replay.
corner right here, Spud. Look where he's at, and he makes the corner anyway.
Well, look at it. He don't turn the toe out.
Free arm down.
Boy, yeah.
He will ride that. Look
Look
at that
at
recovery.
that. Look at that. That's
That's
like a
where-
bronc rider losing his saddle.
That's where
in
you
the
go
lift on the
from
ring.
pulling to pushing. I'm telling you.
Ooh.
87.5, and that is one great long go around.
That was exciting.
I enjoyed this bull ride.
So take a look at the scoreboard, and one of the best long rounds I've seen in the last 2 years on the Pro Rough Stock Series. McLean's big score, 89, and John Jacobs, John Young putting on a show. Ken Wimberly just slips in with an 84.5. When we come back, Saddle Bronc Riders will take the reign. It's the father-son duel number 2 between Cody Wright and his son Rusty Wright. Last time in Gillette, it was the son coming out on top. What will happen this week? Welcome back to the 2014 PRS President's Cup here in Rapid City. Well, we're ready for the Saddle Bronc riding. Let's go back to Kelly Timberman, who is loading the chutes for us.
Tyrell Smith today is coming in. He's sitting number 12 in the PRS standings. That's the bottom of the pack. But today, he's got the best horse, in my opinion, in the draw of Iron Maiden of Birchport Rodeo. Now, this horse takes a lot of range, going to drop his head between his legs and really buck hard. There's no hanging on, no gray area in rodeo. You got to go for first to be first.
All right, Kelly, thank you very much. And here's the season so far here in early 2014. J.J. Elsher on top. Jesse Williams in there, number 2. Look at these young guys. Rusty Wright and Cole Elsher. Here's Spencer Wright. We've been talking about Rusty Wright and his dad, Cody Wright. This is Cody's younger brother, Spencer Wright, who's only a couple years older than Rusty Wright.
Boy, he can ride broncs too, can he? Is that just a family deal when you're born and you're a ride, you get a bronc saddle?
I guess so. I mean, one of these days ain't going to be nothing but Wrights and Elshers at our deal. You
Yeah,
know?
it's in their DNA.
Spur out right here. Feet came out kind of bad. He had to wait to jump. If you notice, he's a little bit behind. Got pretty fast feet, trying to catch up. Horse kind of gets
That
a
horse
little
kind of
less
moving
on the
forward, a
wall.
little rough on him, wasn't he, Hawkeye?
Yeah, we sure
And the
was.
score's going to be rough on him, too. 78.5. We go to Jesse Williams from Paso Robles, California. He is number 2 in points for the championship this year. Last week he made the Wrangler Final Four round, finished 3rd. And Campfire from Sutton has a huge buck-off
this horse here getting everybody. Huh?
They don't ride that one. That horse has one of the best buck-off percentages in all of saddle bronc riding.
Well, I know one thing, the horse poked his head down a little bit after the spur out there and got a little rein from him. That didn't help much. Right? I don't understand it because he looks like he just jumps and kicks, and watching it in slow-mo still looks good.
Here's the 18-year-old phenom, Rusty Wright, who's 3rd in points, who was 2nd in Gillette with that big 87.5. And another big ride on Lunatic in Lexington. 2 weeks in a row, he's had some big 80 rides. This one's Teardrop from New Frontier.
I wish I could use my feet like that when I was 18 instead of waiting till I was 21, you know?
We said it last week, this might be the best 18-year-old any of us have ever seen.
You betcha. Look at this. Lift on his rein, go to the front end, get a hold, toes are out. Oh, yeah.
82.5. Again, I don't know why the judges aren't giving this guy more points. I know we're liking it. As we go to Cole Elsher, 4th in points of the season. And here is the cousin to Ryan and J.J. Elsher, Satin Sheets from New Frontier Rodeo Company.
Come on, Cole, here we go. Now he's set. He's set. That looks good, guys.
Yes, it does. Cole's had a little trouble off and on, but he didn't have very much today on this horse. Right at the end, when that horse turned down the fence, it gave him a kind of a half a jump bothering him. Look at the spur out here.
You know, when you talk about the arena we was at in Lexington, this one here is long and narrow.
Yeah.
Kind of long and narrow, so there's not a lot of room there. You know, she's probably 90 across right there, so them horses are going to change up. I suppose that changes your riding up too, but I thought that was overall a pretty good bronc.
Me too.
Yeah, and that's a good 81.5. It's just that Rusty Wright was just a point better.
That don't make sense.
All right. Now let's go to Rusty's dad, Cody Wright, Milford, Utah. Here's a 2-time PRCA world champion on Double Cross from Birch Rodeo Company.
This guy's tough as they come, always good spur outs. He's good about going to the front end, turning his toes out. That's why he's wearing 2 buckles. Horse's head's really going back and forth, and I think it set him up for
Guys,
that
was rank, that was rank. The horse was rank, and he rode him like he was an easy horse. And there is a lot going on here, Hawkeye.
I mean, there is. Look at the snap of his feet getting a hold. Right there, he kind of hung over that rein a little bit. Right there, he sure did. Look at this.
Man, that was crazy awesome, in my opinion. 83.5
points.
83.5 points. That was one of the best rides I've seen in a long time.
And it wasn't on a pup, it was on a buck.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was a great combo. Here's last year's champion. Kelly said he'd have his hands full on another one that is hard just to get by. Ghost from Southwick Rodeo Company.
Notice the spur out of Court Shears. 3 jumps. He really sets this ride up right.
Let's go to Kelly.
You see that start. He held his feet for 2 jumps up in that horse's neck, really got control of the ride. The horse kind of stumbled, got up, wanted to move out, had some direction change, some pretty difficult moves there. Court made a great ride all the way across there, textbook.
Hawkeye, look at the first jump. That horse took its head to the ground and did not get any rein out. Look at this.
I mean, by holding your feet, that you can hang on to your rein too. I like the way this guy rides. This horse did not help him at all after 3 jumps.
78 points for Court Shear. Tyrell Smith of South Dakota. Kelly talked about this one. And this Iron Maiden from Birch Rodeo Company.
This horse is all there now, guys. He's got his work cut out for him. He's off, he's in trouble.
Takes lots of rain, and that time didn't look like he needed a lot of rain.
No.
Was the rain measurement wrong from the get-go?
I don't think so. Weak spur out, didn't set his ride up, got behind off the bat, just trying to play catch up. Well, it sure hurt him today.
Let's take a look at the guys that will be moving on for the Wrangler Final Four. Cody Wright, boy, what a ride, 83.5. His son, Rusty Wright at number 2. Let's go to Kelly, who's with the number 1 man so far.
You know what? He was just jumping away from me and moving, and he just stretched me out. I didn't know I even made the buzzer. I thought I got bucked off for the buzzer, so I just reverted to being happy for Rusty. And then I announced the score, so I was tickled.
Oh man, what a round so far. This is good. Father and son will be in that round on next week's show. Still to come here from Rapid City, we'll preview the matchups for next week's Wrangler Final Four Showdown. Stick around. We're back in Rapid City, and we're taking a look at the final 4 matchups for next week's show. Spud, who do you like in the bareback riding?
Well, naturally, we got to go with Justin McDaniels. He's riding really good, looking to get his 3rd victory. I mean, you know, he's already won 2, so let's see what he can do here. Got a good horse, Cactus Juice of Waggins and Sutton. Jason McLean with Flying Train. That's last year's PRS Bucket Bull of the Year, so he'll have a little work cut out for him there. But McKenna Wembley, you never want to leave that guy out for sure.
Hawkeye, there's a lot to talk about in saddle bronc riding. What's the one point that really jumps off of this list of superstar horses?
Well, I tell you what, Dad Cody Wright's got Lunatic Fringe where Rusty had him last week. And you got Cole Elsher on Chucky later. That, to me, that's the one to watch right there. I really want to see that. Spencer Wright, Rocky Road. Now, that stroke race, big stud. I tell you one thing, it's kind of them first 3, any one of them can take it, I think.
Our Kershaw cutting-edge performance highlight of the night. It's bull rider John Jacobs, a stellar performance on New Frontiers, Silent Assassin. As you take a look at this again, what a ride, and especially what a recovery right about there. He never missed a beat. That guy's got a rhythm. There's nothing like the best ride, and there's nothing like a Kershaw. Our John Deere Big Buck of the night, which goes to our top performing animal. Spud, who do we have?
Boy, I got to go with Cody Wright on Double Cross. You know, Matt and Chad Birch, they got a good, outstanding horse here. Not the easiest to ride, and Cody is trying his best to make it look easy. That's a pretty bronc ride on the rank bronc.
Thank you, Spud. Our Big Buck of the night is sponsored by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer. Next week, it's going to be a house of fire here in Rapid City. The Wrangler Final 4 Showdown round. See you then.